The original Evil Dead is a prime example of a classic movie that was great for its time, but it definitely needed a remake. And no, that's not me saying that it's not a good movie, because it definitely is. Hell, it's in my top 10 of the 80s overall. But this movie has aged, okay? And it aged a long time ago. This movie was and still is a masterclass in gore and practical effects. And it really showed Hollywood what you could do with a little bit of budget, but a whole lot of talent. Because I seriously need y'all to understand something. This movie was so low budget that they made a prequel movie to The Evil Dead to raise money for The Evil Dead, but The Evil Dead still ended up being extremely low budget. They literally raised money and still came up short, and somehow still made a movie that was so brutal and shocking that till this day, it has an NC-17 rating. It was even considered a video nasty in the 80s and got banned from most theaters and only flourished in the home video market. And despite this movie having such a legendary status within the horror community, it's still a fairly unknown film. So when the remake dropped in 2013, nobody looked at it as them tampering with the classic. People were more so happy that this movie was finally able to be made in the way that it was intended to be made. Because let's be honest, bro, this movie was way ahead of its time. What Sam Raimi was doing in this movie, bro, was pushing the limits of what they could in the 80s. And just as a side note, bruh, the original Evil Dead trilogy may very well be the most troubled trilogy in horror history. I will actually have to make an entire separate video about the troubled history of the Evil Dead trilogy. If y'all want that, just let me know. I often say that It 2017 is the best horror remake of all time, and then I remember that Evil Dead 2013 exists. They were able to recreate classic scenes and make them much more terrifying than they were originally. Fede Alvarez took all the insanity that Sam Raimi established with the first movie and somehow made it more insane. In my opinion, this is the perfect Evil Dead movie, and it's definitely on my Mount Rushmore of horror remakes. If you want to know my other three, just let me know. And again, I ain't taking nothing from the original, bro. I absolutely love this movie, but at the end of the day, it definitely deserved the remake treatment.